Okay, guys. So, letters to Ewan, number 37, still here with Jeff. And this letter is called I'm Going to Sea. Dear Ewan, blissfully, I rode the train metro bus to the W Hotel to meet ALIFTIMTS, Australian living in Florida that is moving to Spain. He's been waiting for our room about 3 hours, so he's pretty tired. I can feel the hand puppet of the sky, and I'm choosing to receive my own love. It's peaceful, and I can feel these little perturbations, like contact between the security I feel and the hopes I have that read like insecurity in my body. He doesn't want to get a pedicure later. We can only barely let our arm hair touch in public. He's so freaking cute, and he has an amazing plan to take a train to a gay nude beach tomorrow early and spend the whole day there. There's a part of me that's taking all of this data and asking if he's the right one. And there's another part that is breathing more openly and feels privileged to be able to feel connection without trying to cling to him. The part looking for the right one is disappointed that he keeps avowing how set he is in his ways. The part
Okay,
that, yeah, go
so
ahead.
like I'm just feeling I'm actually feeling a bit like off balance, but I
Yeah.
think it's like part of the I'm feeling peaceful and I have these little per
Yeah.
perturbations. And I like those that that sentence. I like how your arm hairs are touching.
Yeah.
Those are nice like things together.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all that though, I feel like through here.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
can feel it and it feels like oh,
Well, yeah, it's like I can be with a lot of awareness and still notice like um the humanity in me just like wants what it wants and is scared it's not going to get it.
mm, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. The part that's appreciating existing without clinging is open to this being a new kind of romance, actually meeting him. He doesn't have seem to have a problem with me being different than him. One thing that feels interesting is this sense that when we finally get our room, which he's checking now, we'll be all over each other. Public displays of affection, PDA, are pretty meaningful to me. It's something about being gay. If a guy is willing to suffer some slings and arrows, I code it as meaningful. I can feel the two parts. The first one is pretty quiet, though. It's not super upset. I can sense it like a confusion. The second is pretty grounded. I'd rather see what's happening than make a meaning about love.
Mm.
We get into our room and part one flares. We're not in public. Touch me. Part two stays cool and feels the slight vertigo part one is kicking up. He's really into cleanliness and says he needs a shower. He's warm, but he hasn't touched me. I can feel a kind of attunement where I'm pretty willing to defer to his preferences. In a flash, I notice a slight disgust response to getting whatever I want, like being with a guy who always needs to hold hands feels worse than what's happening.
Okay, it's fun. Okay, so like being with you in this one because there's like slight things I've wanted to almost say that I haven't said, and it feels like I'm with you in the like room of not quite like the not touching,
Yeah.
and it's
It,
you like
not in
because
the
you
room. What does that mean?
like like I'm not saying things right now,
Uh-huh.
and the two parts. The one thing I was like the two parts
Uh-huh.
where you're like I'm just wanting to like really be with like if a guy's willing to suffer some slings and arrows, I code it as meaningful.
Uh-huh.
And then there's like if he's not willing, that there's the other part is coding that as meaningful too.
Hmm.
And you have like these kind of like yeah, you're
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like the like this is good clarity here. It's like yeah, part one like really wants to get what it wants. And it's very like beautiful and human and fine. And then part two is like novelty often coincides with not getting what I wanted. It often leads me to figuring out I wanted something else and didn't know it.
Mm, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kind of vertigo of those two parts kind of never agreeing, almost like two magnets that won't like come together, like the repulsive repulsion things.
Yeah. Oh, and that's a really painful one for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I like this line. In a flash, I noticed a slight disgust response to getting whatever I want. Like being with a guy who always needs to hold hands feels worse than what's happening. Like I'd prefer to be in this tension than to be with somebody who
Uh,
was like a stock version of part one.
right.
Who was like, if you don't hold my hand, that means you don't care about me. I'd be like, well, let's break up. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. He just got out of the shower. He lays down on the bed. Part one is terrified but contained. Part two says, I'm coming for the crook of your arm. He asks me if I'm going to shower. I tell him I showered and then was on transit the whole time. It's a simple okay from there. And then we play. We're both big. We both like being on top. We both like being on the bottom. We don't have traditional gay sex. It's the kissing. It feels like fucking. I open my eyes, and the look in his eyes when we see each other is like nothing I've experienced. And anyone who knows me knows I've made some eye contact. I read gratitude between us. We settle down, saving it for later. He really wraps me up every time, like, get closer. It feels perfectly matched between us. Get closer. I need to lead online in an hour, so I set an alarm. I wake to it going off. He says, you were snoring in 3 seconds. I get up to log in to relateful.com and he says, okay, log in and come back here and give me 5 more minutes. I've been waiting for someone to say that for a long time. Come back here and hold us for just 5 more minutes. The online session goes well. There are a bunch of themes. The context I said is my mind is doing lots of stuff and I'm noticing it, but I'm telling it to wait because what's deeper is I want to see what happens next. It's good. We flow well. At the end of the outro context, I said, at the at the end, comma, the outro context I set because a few people didn't seem to find satisfaction is don't just wander off. Acknowledge that you came here and love that you showed up as much as you could show up. The session ends and I close my computer. I wander over to the bed, strip, and climb back in. We cuddle another 25 minutes before getting up to head to Barcelona's Gothic zone. As we walk towards and through this zone, I stay grounded in part two. I'm going to see what happens next. He needs AC, so we wander and seek out little bars that can cool him down. We have sangria and then wander to find tapas. The food is amazing. He keeps letting me have the lion's share. All the while, I'm having an epiphany. What if I just don't tell him I love him? My senses are saying that it's not the right time. What's it like to fall in love with him, to possibly fall in love with everyone and simply never tell them? I immediately feel this connection to Liz Gans, one of my ultimate best friends who died a few years ago. She was always non-verbally teaching me about love, and I never really understood. After she died, I committed to learning, sitting bedside in hospitals, moving in with T&J, and deciding to see the world instead of move to San Diego, where the last classes in love that I've taken. To be clear, Liz always said she loved people, but I wonder if many people understood the scale. I don't think I did. My body was pulsing with love as I contemplated the possibility of falling in love with not just ALIFTIMTS. I felt limitless. I wouldn't have to wait for any complicitness and could just actually love, not in just the kindness way, but in the deep, heartrending, falling way. We get up from dinner and wander to one last bar, a vegan gastropub. We get two glasses of Tinto Verano and are sitting there. I'm making moon eyes and he's just hanging out. I forget what we were talking about. He travels a lot with his family. I'm excited about all the new possibilities in my life. Living in Spain 3 months next year and leading a ton of immersions. And then he casually drops, but I'm not 100% open. What? Holy fuck. First, I fall in love with a straight guy, and now I'm falling in love with a closeted guy. Part two is blinking its eyes. I choose to receive my own love freely. I feel into the awareness puppeting me. For a flash, as I was writing this, I thought, I could be up there cuddling with him now. I could put down testifying and just enjoy this thing that's showing signs of being fleeting. Back at the bar and the rest of the night, two big things are happening. One is I feel a kind of sanity, like all the coyness makes sense now, and I relax. The second is that I'm holding back even more. Telling him that I'm in love with him makes more sense, and I'm also tempted to do it. I wrestle with that softly through the wine and the walk back. I said I wanted to see what happens next, and am certainly getting my wish fulfilled. I say we should go night swimming, and we head down to the beach outside the W in Barceloneta and beautifully swim with others, including a cute dog that is enamored with a young, hot Indian guy. It won't stop swimming after him. Everybody gets a lot of joy from that. We have one more beer at this bar near the beach, and we're still wet from the ocean. I'm grounded. I don't know what to do. Do I tell him I made a vow to stay away from closeted men? I can be with this not working out, but I can't pretend I'm not still in love with him. Do I tell him, if you came out of the closet, you and I could spend the rest of our lives doing exactly what we wanted? We could swim in beaches all over the world and hold each other every night. We could have sex that was nothing but fulfilling. We head upstairs, shower together, and then climb into bed. Just a little kissing and we fall asleep. There's one beautiful moment where he seems to drop his guard and says, Michael, you are trouble. He smiles and looks into the distance, and I feel seen. That night, I have a dream that connects to a dream I had during the festival with you, Ewan. It's a dream of face tattoos, like a Maori warrior. In the dream I had during the festival, I was proud of the tattoos. In the one last night, the tattoo was fading, and the one on the left side of my face was running like smudged ink. I ended the dream with the desire to get it removed. My beloved is reflecting that I want to put down being a warrior. I woke up to pee and then decided to write all of this down. As I finished this entry, I noticed that this piece is different. I'm in a limbo that includes beauty, confusion, and a stubborn thing inside me that says, love. Headed to the beach today, and I can feel my connection to you, Ewan. It's like a cool hand on my shoulder. Mike. Ah,
Mm. I
ah.
really, I like how we're getting to see you in practice. And it's familiar. It's like happens to me all the time where it's like something's happening and then the thing I'm practicing keeps coming up over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like to me, it's just the thing where like, you know, it's almost like we're all supposed to, if you're doing any kind of consciousness work at all, you're like basically supposed to like make the way you're relating about something like line up with an idealistic kind of view.
Mm,
And I don't want
mm,
to call that evil, but I
mm,
just find it to be like the worst pedagogy. It's like we're like swimming in this holding environment. It's the worst learning environment
mm.
because every time we make a mistake, we like quickly try and like reframe it as perfect.
Oh,
And I'm like, man, it's so much more important to just be like, yeah, I'm totally always doing a fucking equanimity practice. I'm totally always doing like a let yourself be a fucking human practice. Like, if you make the human experience wrong, you certainly aren't looking at it.
mm,
If you're not looking at it, you're
uh,
probably not loving it.
yeah.
And then how the sheer between those two things where like I'm something, I'm not either of those parts. Those are just like features of culture's impact on me. I'm something else and I can see this something else as those two parts kind of like rub together and like
Mm,
never basically want to um, complete.
oh,
Like instead of looking at like the end of all these, when people have these practices, I'm gonna own my experience. And then they're like, I own my experience. I'm like, you didn't own your experience there. It's like very black and white. The place where we fail, I think is like a very mystical experience. A place where we constantly are failing to love or, whatever. And I don't want to like tell people like, oh, don't heal your trauma, or I'm not gonna say any of that stuff. But I'm like, when your trauma's still healing, um, are you are you open to the idea that you're lovable before the suffering ends?
mm, yeah. Are you open to the idea that that is you, this person
Hmm.
that fell down?
Yeah. Well, and it's like weird because like a lot of times people will do this. I don't even know if I'm on topic anymore, but people will do this thing where they're like, "Oh, I had this bad past with my parents. I'm gonna like love it and release it." So it's like love it, release it so I can go back to what I want to be doing. That this thing interrupted. But this is like a secret. Like, I think the compassion that we're like learning to put at that pain, it's not like, oh, diaper rash, let's put a little cream on it. It's like that compassion going towards that part of my being is actually like the right size of my mind.
Mm,
If I took some of my RAM processing power and just was always like, I'm gonna have compassion for this
mm,
dysmorphia, this belief that I'm not lovable, I'm gonna constantly have compassion for it. I'm gonna do it even when it doesn't need it.
right. Oh,
That's like the right size of consciousness.
mm,
And it's huge because no one wants to pay attention after the work is done.
Mm.
They're like, I'll
Yeah.
pay attention right now so I can get this shit done so I can go back to the way it was. It's like, that's not how it works, man. I've never seen it work that way.
Uh,
You know, people, a lot of people make like when with Jordan, like a lot of people make up, oh, he's like so perfect, or a lot of people hate him because he's like acting perfect. I'm like, underneath it all, he's just like feeling compassion for himself, like just constantly
uh,
like, calling himself out. And then he's like realizing that it's human, and then he's feeling compassion for it, and then he's like forgiving himself. And it's like this smooth motion.
mm, mm,
And it's not, it's weird. It's like it's not like he's resting. It's just that he's made the effort light.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, it's, I feel the most in my life right now about like the getting to next thing is like with the baby. And I, th- it's like, it's just like, I don't know how I'm making the same move that you're talking about, but it's just like, if I'm not trying to get to the next, I'm just being there, not trying to get to the next thing.
Mm,
It's not even like compassion, really. It's just like,
dude, that's
yeah,
awesome. Because like if there's like infinite this that we're like learning how to do, and like if I had a third arm, I'd like pick my nose or something. Like it's huge to me when somebody like looks at the ideal and is like, I'm just gonna practice this. Like I know that I'm supposed to be patting my head right now, but I'm like, this is like all I got. Just this. And then I'm like somebody who's really stalwart and committed to like rubbing their belly or just patting their head or whatever. Then when they like pick up the other thing, they've actually like been humble enough to realize how hard it is. Yeah. Okay. Let's stop.